Today, I have taken up the chapter A House is Not a Home, written by a popular author, Zan Gordioso. This chapter has been taken from the Moments book of class 9th. Dear students, don't you think that being a teenager can be challenging at times? Because growing up has its own set of problems. And these problems need to be tackled with two main qualities that all the teenagers need to inculcate gradually. And these qualities are patience and faith. In this chapter, the author recalls his days at the high school. Zan was a teenager who had just moved to a new high school. He did not like this change, so this was very difficult for him to adjust. What was worse and made him feel isolated was that his closest friends had been sent to a different high school. And he missed his old teachers so much that he wanted to go back to them. One Sunday afternoon, Zan was at home, sitting at his dining table doing homework, and the fire had been lit up in the fireplace. His red tabby cat was lying lazily on his papers. Zan's mother kept stoking the fire to keep the house warm when suddenly he smelled something strange. He noticed smoke pouring in through the seams of the ceilings. The room was quickly filled with thick smoke, and Zan and his mother could not see anything. Somehow, they managed to find their way to the front door and ran out into the front yard. Zan ran to the neighborhood to call the fire department. At this time, he saw his mother running back into the house. She came out with a small metal box that was full of important documents. She dropped it on the lawn and again ran back. Zan knew that she had gone inside to save the pictures and letters of his father who had died when Zan was young. Still, Zan did not want to lose his mother, and so he screamed after her. Just when he was to run after her, he felt a large hand hold him back. It was a fireman. The fireman assured Zan that his mother would be saved and made him sit down in their car with a blanket wrapped around him. Soon another fireman emerged from the house along with his mother, whom he took quickly to the truck and put an oxygen mask on her. Zan ran over and hugged her. Then the fireman ran back to the house, while Zan and his mother sat helplessly watching their house burn down. After 5 hours, the fire was finally put out. At this time, Zan realized that his cat was not to be seen anywhere. He realized this horror and broke down in tears, thinking about his losses, his school, his house, his cat. The firemen did not allow them to go back into the house for the night, as it was no longer safe. Still, he had to go with his mother to his grandparents' house for the night. So they both got into their car with just the clothes they had on and a few blankets given to them by the firemen. The next day was Monday, and Zan's mother forced him to go to school. Actually, Zan's clothes, shoes, books, backpack, everything had got burnt in the fire. He had to go to school looking weird in the dress that he had worn for the Sunday church and tennis shoes that he had borrowed from his aunt. He was embarrassed, and fear of becoming an outcast and a geek gripped him. While returning from his school, he saw his burnt down house and was shocked to see the damage. That one week, the rubble of their house was being cleared off, and even though they had rented an apartment nearby, Zan would go over to watch the clearing of debris. He hoped to find his cat somewhere. Soon, everyone in Zan's school, including his teachers, knew about the burning down of his house. One day, he found everyone behaving strangely. He was getting ready for his gym class when people started to gather around him. They asked him to hurry up, and Zan felt as though they were trying to shove him into the gym. On getting inside, Zan saw that a big table had been set up with different things all for Zan. His schoolmates had brought school supplies, notebooks, jeans, tops, sweatsuits, etc. He felt as if it were Christmas. The generosity of his schoolmates overwhelmed him. A month later, he was at his house, watching it being rebuilt. It was a different experience this time, as two of his friends from the new school were with him. He realized that his life too was getting rebuilt along with his house. As he sat planning his new bedroom, he heard someone walk up to him from behind. A voice asked, "Does this belong to you?" He turned around and couldn't believe his eyes because there stood a woman holding his lost cat. He leapt up, grabbed the cat, and held her close to him. He cried into her beautiful orange fur and she purred happily. His friends hugged him, hugged his cat, and jumped around. Zan sat with his friends and his cat curled up in his lap. He felt gratitude for his life, for his new friends, the kindness of a stranger, and his beloved cat. With this, I come to the end of the chapter. A house is not a home. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.